I see a lot of people don't understand why this Diddy situation is such a big deal. Maybe they've never been a fan of his music, or better yet, the music that he's kind of responsible for. You know, Diddy bopping in the background of all the videos. But a lot of people don't seem to realize how powerful Diddy is. I know, and maybe you know, but a lot of people don't really understand that Diddy is connected to some of the most powerful people in the world, and Diddy has been one of the most powerful people in the music industry for a while now. And you know, there's just years and years of shady stuff that Diddy has been tied to, including the murders of two of the most famous rappers of all time. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen. But you know, my interest in this story kind of goes beyond Diddy at this point. Because we've all kind of known about the stuff that Diddy was doing for years. I always say it's an open secret, but I don't want to keep saying that because it's no secret. If you know, you know. I understand a lot of people haven't been paying attention. And rightfully so. It's not like you had anything to gain from paying attention to what's going on in hip-hop and the rap community or whatever. But for those of us who know, we know that Diddy's been tied to a lot of things. There's been accusations out there. Other rappers, singers, you name it, they joke about the wild things that happen at Diddy's party. There's tons of videos out there of Diddy acting weird with people, including but not limited to Justin Bieber, Meek Mills, you name it. So my interest in this story kind of goes beyond Diddy. Because when something like this happens, it's almost like a virus or a cancer or a social contagion. It spreads. Once one person gets exposed, another powerful person gets exposed. Once one person finds the courage to speak out, all of a sudden, all of these other people find the courage to speak out. So now that people are speaking out and exposing Diddy, you already know that other people are going to catch some strays. Other people are going to get exposed as well. So that's one reason as to why I'm interested in this story. And then Diddy has the ability to take down other powerful people. I think we're going to see other people in the music industry who are tied to Diddy that may go down along with Diddy as well. I believe that this story has the potential to open up the floodgates when it comes to the music industry. Because Diddy ain't the only one. In fact, Diddy's not even really unique when it comes to doing things like this. Everyone out there, all of these powerful people, are doing the same damn thing that Diddy is doing, basically, right? So this story has the potential to open up the floodgates. People thought that when R. Kelly was exposed, that would open up the floodgates. Now, R. Kelly had a certain amount of power, but R. Kelly's situation and Diddy's situation, it's totally different. Now, of course, people knew, once again, an open secret, people knew what R. Kelly was doing for years. R. Kelly had a team of people who were helping him that knew what was happening. Other people in the music industry may have known, but for the most part, R. Kelly kind of stayed in his own lane, doing his own messed up things, right? Whereas Diddy, he's been described as like the Epstein of the music industry almost. Whereas R. Kelly kind of stayed in his own lane and did his own thing, Diddy kind of brought everyone in on it. He brought other powerful people in on it. You know what I mean? And he had these public events, these public parties, where all types of wild stuff happened. So Diddy's situation is so much more unique. I don't want to say unique, but it's just way different. It has the ability to take down way more people. Like, even if you want to expose Diddy and everything Diddy is guilty of, in order to do that, you're probably going to have to expose a lot of other people along the way, because other people are part of Diddy's story. R. Kelly was kind of, the only person in his story, along with his victims and maybe his assistants and stuff. P. Diddy's got other powerful people, from royal family members who are so-called possibly connected to him. I don't know how connected they are. Other rappers, other musicians, presidents, people who ran for president, you name it. A lot of people tied to Diddy. A lot of people tied to Diddy. So this story, if you ask me, does have the potential to open up the floodgates. And once those floodgates open, it's going to be hard to close them shut. But if you're like one of those people that maybe doesn't necessarily fully understand what's going on here, I want to roll this news clip really quickly. Don't get me wrong. This news clip kind of just glazes over the surface of everything that's been going on. The rabbit hole runs way deeper than this, but at the very least, this clip will give you a better understanding of what's happening here. After I roll this clip, though, I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Shockwaves reverberating through the music industry after federal agents raided the L.A. and Miami homes of billionaire hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. Homeland Security conducted the armed raid in an alleged sex trafficking operation. TMZ later capturing Diddy pacing around a private Miami airstrip. Diddy wasn't arrested, but his phones were seized. And there's speculation tonight that he's fled the country. We can't confirm it. Just breaking tonight, though, Diddy's attorneys putting out a statement saying, quote, "There is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities. This unprecedented ambush, paired with advanced coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt." We believe the raid was triggered by a litany of lawsuits, including from his own ex, alleging abuse, rape, and sex trafficking. Diddy settled that one, but then, 2 months ago, his former producer, Rodney Lil Rod Jones, filed an explosive lawsuit containing disturbingly graphic and disgusting details that not only implicate Diddy, but aim straight at the heart of the music industry. An elaborate racketeering, blackmail, and sex trafficking scheme that his lawyers compare to Jeffrey Epstein's. Now, for over a year, Lil Rod had unfettered access to Diddy's world, his homes, his planes, and his parties, where he claims he witnessed mountains of narcotics, illegal firearms, laced drinks, sex workers, and underage boys and girls. The producer claims he was groped by Diddy, groomed, and forced into humiliating sexual performances. Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Coram, is said to have been the Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs, allegedly ordering her assistants to keep Mr. Combs high off gummies, pills, cocaine, and ecstasy, and maintaining a steady stream of sex workers for her boss. Now, some of the women brought into Diddy's orbit were under the age of 16. That's according to the complaint. The lawsuit claims he required the sex workers and underage girls to sign NDAs prior to entering his parties and prior to being drugged and sex trafficked at these parties. Diddy allegedly forced all of the women to drink laced De Leon liquor, as well as laced Ciroc vodka and champagne. His former bodyguard, Gene Deal, said this:
"Guys don't put those pills that they get to the girls in the champagne bottles because they popping them in front of them. It's in the orange juice and it's in the cranberry juice. They done put the pills and the stuff in there, the roofies. Those girls who like the mixed drinks, they gonna pour their own sexual act because they don't understand it ain't in the bottles, it's in the juice. Those guys They learn that, and they put it to those girls who don't know no better.
Now, Diddy called these his freak-out parties. In attendance were celebrities, politicians, athletes, international dignitaries like British royalty, Prince Harry, and music label executives. Lil Rod claimed some of the biggest names in the recording industry sponsored these parties with sex workers, drugs, and underage girls. The CEO of Universal Music, Lucian Grange, is named as a defendant. So is the former CEO of Motown Records, Ethiopia, Habert Mariam, and others. Lil Rod says hidden cameras were in every room of Diddy's homes. Lil Rod believes that Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every person that has attended his freak-off parties and his house parties. Salacious tapes of Hollywood's biggest names, including record CEOs and politicians, doing drugs and cavorting with prostitutes and minors. The complaint argues that these freak-off parties were a business model. Young and up-and-coming talent attended and were promised career opportunities and access to music executives. They were then plied with drugs and alcohol, filmed. Some were blackmailed. There was a quid pro quo, according to the complaint. Lil Rod said not only were these music executives sponsoring these parties, they were handing Diddy large sums of cash that he used to pay for the sex workers and drugs. Something tells me the IRS is going to be interested. The suit claims the defendants funded the sex trafficking venture and participated in the recruitment of victims. Now, if this is true, this is so bad. Famous artists like Usher, at the age of 13, were whisked away to Diddy's Puffy Flavor Camp.
I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
You were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
15-year-old Justin Bieber spent days with Diddy.
Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives. What we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him, and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do?
Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang with some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about, kid.
And we're not accusing Diddy of doing anything bad with Bieber, but Diddy's lifestyle was an open secret in the industry. People have been warning about this for years.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times, just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right, because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you.
Now, Diddy operated like he was protected. Mr. Combs made it clear that his head of security, Fahim Muhammad, had the power to make people and problems disappear. Fahim Muhammad, Diddy's head of security, was the former head of security for Michael Jackson, who was also accused of sexual deviancy. Diddy's head of security is accused of paying off law enforcement. The lawsuit claims Diddy bragged about getting away with shooting people. Diddy and his girlfriend at the time, J-Lo, weren't charged for that New York City nightclub shooting involving rapper Shine. Another shooting that Lil Rod alleges he saw was a shooting inside of Diddy's own studio that left blood in the restroom, where Diddy instructed Lil Rod to lie to the police by telling them that the victim was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. The lawsuit has photos of this stuff. And after hours of forensics and police inside the room, no charges. Lil Rod claims he saw Diddy distribute guns from his bedroom closet to questionable individuals dressed in all black. Diddy alluded to having law enforcement in his back pocket. Lil Rod said the defendants bragged about murdering people and bribing witnesses and jurors. Inside of Diddy's mind, the lawsuit says he believes he's above the law and is untouchable. But it looks like Diddy's world's collapsing. Now, what we don't know is how many people he'll take with him and whether we'll ever see the evidence the feds seized from his homes.
All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. All lies will be exposed. That's all. In 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing, I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it.
So, yeah, folks, yeah. Maybe you have a better understanding of how serious this is, but even I, at the time of this recording, I don't think any of us, if you're not part of this investigation or whatever, I don't think any of us fully know what may be going on here. But I'll tell you one thing. When Diddy goes down, I don't think Diddy's going down alone. I don't know if he'll fold and snitch on other people. He seems like the type that would. He seems like the type that would sing like a bird. But then again, with a lot of the stuff that Diddy's accused of, maybe prison wouldn't be so bad for Diddy. Maybe he would enjoy it in there. It seems like Diddy likes the fellas and he doesn't want people to know that. But hey, it is what it is. I will say this, though. I will say this. I don't know how many of you all watched when they took down Young Thug not that long ago. He didn't go down alone. They took down dozens of people. I think that they're building a huge case on Diddy, where Diddy may be at the center of it all, but he's not the only one I think they're interested in taking down. The response that we've seen so far, and from how everything is playing out, and there's other stuff that's playing out behind the scenes that's not really official information, so you don't want to report it because you don't know. There's rumors out there, let's just say. A lot of these rumors, I believe, are true. But I think that we're going to see something where not only Diddy goes down, but we may literally see dozens of people go down with him. From assistants to other music artists, possibly people within Diddy's own family, dealers like we already saw got arrested. I think that we may see a whole entire kind of organization go down. And I think they're going to try to prove that Diddy is at the head of this criminal organization. I think that's what they're trying to put together. I don't think they're just trying to take Diddy down for doing something bad to some woman or to some dude. I think they're trying to prove that this is a whole entire operation that Diddy is at the center of. So it may take a while for them to put these pieces together, and we may see other pieces fall, like other people around Diddy, they may fall first. Because once the feds and stuff get involved, they don't get involved unless they think that, oh yeah, we got you. All right? And the Department of Homeland Security is involved in this situation. So that lets you know that we're not even looking at crimes that they think were just committed here in America. We're looking at things that they got on Diddy abroad, okay? We're not looking at just, they must have evidence that would suggest that Diddy is doing illegal things in other countries and stuff as well. But for now, let me know your thoughts about all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, if you want to donate to the channel, you can do so via Cash App, or you can help the channel for free by liking, subscribing, and sharing the video. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all really soon in the next one.